Hey guys, it's EDDBUD here and welcome to live stream number 9. Hope you've all had a fantastic day. If you are watching out there on YouTube, please head over into the chat and join us. We've already got a couple of people there. Andrea is there and also Joe Mullin. He's got a question for me straight away. Let's get into the questions. Joe says, you wear glasses when you run, do you switch to contacts? No, Joe, actually with these, let me take these off, a rare image of EDDBUD without his glasses. Which one is it? Is it this eye? Or is it this one? I think it's this lens. It's the only one that actually really does anything for me, Joe. Mainly for driving and kind of using the computer. That's the two main things I need it for. I think it's, am I short-sighted in that one? The other one's practically just glass, you know, it doesn't really do anything at all for me. But yeah, I just tend to not wear them and then crash into things when I'm running about. Rob Gundry's here. Rob is, where is he? I think it's kind of that way, across there, a few miles. He's not far away from me at all. How you doing, Rob? Good to see you. He started his saving pot for his Earth credits for the Metaracer. Awesome. I'm sure you'll be able to grab a pair. I think you'll like them, Rob. They're the closest thing I would suggest is a very low to the ground race car. That's kind of what they remind me of. Stevie76 is in the house. He's always here, one of the top supporters of the channel. I do thank you, Stevie. Rob Weatherall has just managed to woof down his tea. Yeah, I did a similar thing, Rob. Mrs. EDDBUD produced an incredible lasagna today. We had some mushrooms in there, spinach, there's a little Marmite, there was some tomato, some passata, we had some cheese. Oh, it was chef kiss stuff. Very, very nice from Miss EDDBUD. And the incredible lemon cake is sadly now all gone. I ate the last two pieces after the 7-mile run earlier on in the torrential rain. It was really quite terrible, actually. It was one of those runs where you've got to try and wear the outer jacket, the waterproof jacket, because otherwise you're just going to literally get soaked and get very cold quickly. The Nova Blast are the shoes that I selected because I'm trying to get those up to 100 miles. I'm almost there now. Kafuzi and I will be working on our 100-mile collaborative review on that one, so do watch out for that. Perhaps over the weekend I need to have some conversations with him tomorrow and make a few calls on some of our opinions and our views on the shoes. But the Nova Blast are just completely saturated, and I think I weighed them when I got in. They were about 70 grams heavier per shoe with all the water, so something to bear in mind. We've got Andre's here. Tomorrow's first run in the Nova Blast. Just be careful, Andre, if you're running in the rain. They may soak up a lot of water. Richard Rendell is here. Thanks for tuning in. Kevin Braden is here. Any chance you give me my twin girls Lucy and Evie a shout and tell them it's time to get into bed? Lucy and Evie, Gavin says, your dad says it's time to get into bed. So, you know, be good. There's lots of fun and excitement to be had tomorrow, but it is the end of the day. So make sure you get into bed nicely and get to sleep so Dad can have a bit of a rest. Okay, I hope that does the trick. As you can tell, I've done that very many times in the past. Kevin Scott is in the house. Timothy Brammer's here. Hello. Joe Mullin has managed to track down a pair of Infinity Run in his size. Joe, I know you were really struggling to find those. We'll get them next week for your current ones have worked hard. I'm glad you've managed to find another pair. I know you're really into those. Vasil says, hey Bud, are you going to try the new Balance Prism? I like the TC, it was killing my ankles. Everybody for recommendation of the Infinity Run. Awesome, glad you're into that one, Vasil. I found the TCs are really awesome, actually. I'm almost at 100 miles in those. I might smash out a half marathon effort on Sunday to get those up to 100 as well. But I might try the Prisms if I can get hold of them. I know that somebody said that they weren't appearing for a while, so sad that those are giving you a bit of ankle problems. Jimmy Pickering says evening all. Evening all to you, Jimmy. Thanks for stopping by. So Rob says he's at 100 miles in the Nova Blast. Rob, I will chat with you a little bit later via Instagram, and I'll get a few comments and maybe a couple of shots from you, if that's okay, and I'll incorporate that into the review. Luke Acorn is in the house. How you doing, Luke? I hope you've been out for your 2 miles today, buddy. Keep going, keep running, Luke. Samantha Jenkins is here. Hello, good morning to you, Samantha. Stevie76, what explains the short lifespan of the Rincon, quality of the midsole? I think it's more the fact that you've just got loads of exposed foam there, Stevie. There's not really an outsole as such. You've got a little bit of rubber at the front and the back end, but most of it is purely midsole. So I think that explains as to why it just bottoms out so quickly. It's a lovely shoe though, very light shoe. There are a few shoes lighter than that one, certainly in terms of training. Tajat is here. Hey buddy, how you doing? I haven't had time to respond to your Instagram, Tajat, but I will do later on once the live stream is over. I hope you're doing okay, buddy. Adam Small is here. He's managed to get a pair of the SL20s for £37. Oh yes, £50 on sale on a promo code. What a sweet deal, Adam. I'm glad you managed to pick some of those up. I'm really looking forward to getting the Nova Blast up to 100, and then I've got a load of other stuff that I've just got to get through. There's in fact another mystery shoe in here. I'm not going to tell you what it is. That's all I'm going to do is show you the outside there, a mystery shoe. Paul Lincoln says, hi Ed, which one would you recommend between the Beacon 3 and the Evo Ride? Oh, that's a real tantalizer. That one's a real tantalizer. I think if you were going towards more like the Saucony for racing, perhaps, if you were looking at that for racing, the Beacon 3. If you were looking at the Asics shoe for racing, or something similar with a lower stack, I'd go with the Evo Ride. The Evo Ride is quite pronounced in terms of that rocker action. Everyone's into rocking at the moment. Rocking and rolling. We can't do any rocking and rolling because you're not allowed to play music in public places or anything at the moment, because there are no places where the public are. So I hope that changes soon. I really miss playing. Aria says, hey man, I just want to say that you are perfect and unique. Thanks buddy. Don't anyone stop you. Awesome, thanks. I really appreciate that, Aria. I really do, thank you. Kevin Scott, Adam Small, jealous. Yeah, that's a great deal, Adam, you've got there on those SL20s. Paul Kane's enjoying the Endorphin Pro review. It's looking like his next half marathon shoe. I tell you what, it's a nice shoe. Really nice shoe, Paul. Gavin Braden says, cheers Ed, worked a treat, never seen them bounce into bed as quick. Yeah. Awesome, glad to help out buddy. I hope you get a nice restful evening now. We've all been there, you know. I'll be there again very soon. Fortunately my older daughter Daisy, hey Daisy, if you're watching, I love you very much, I miss you. Hopefully she's got out of that stage now. She just sort of goes to bed, and she's very good. She's been really good actually for her mum and her stepdad up in London. I've not really been able to see her much since the lockdown. It's yeah, I'm pretty sad about that. I'll see her soon, hopefully. Joe says, so Rob, he's talking with Rob, loved mine from day one, not sure the midsole's hardening up a bit. I do love the Infinities, they're a great shoe. Samantha Jenkins says, when will you test, I've lost it, where is it, Sam Jenkins, when will you test shoes? Can you flex them or try to? Personally, I need very stiff shoes. Well, in that case, Samantha, if you like the stiffer shoes, but with the cushion, certainly that Endorphin Pro, the front section of the Metaracer is ridiculously stiff, okay? That's not going anywhere. Aria says, what kind of shoes would you recommend for me? I'm a teenager. Is Nike good? It very much depends really what sort of running you're doing. If you're mainly on roads and things like that, I don't think you can really go wrong with the Pegasus lineup perhaps, or the Beacons from New Balance. They're a great shoe. Loads of the runners, loads of the viewers have been going for the Adidas SL20, which is a really crazy value, cheap option. So I don't think you can go wrong with that shoe for all sorts of different running. It's just a really superb shoe for around about £40 right now. I mean, it's crazy value. I don't know how Adidas and Reebok can do it. It just seems illogical. I hope that helps out, Aria. Roadrunner Reviews is in the house. How are you doing, guys? Phil Rowley says, hi Ed, he's received his SL20s. The first non-Nike shoes he's had in a while. Wants to run but sick of getting wet this week. You have to wait until tomorrow. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I had to make myself go out early, and when I have to do that, you know, it's bad. But I really enjoyed myself once I got out there. I was soaked to the bone, absolutely drenched, but I had a great time. Just nice easy miles, 8 minutes a mile for me is about sort of a little harder than recovery pace. But I made sure to go up a few hills and just get the heart working a little bit, and it felt good. Aria's got a second question there. What time is the best time for running? Is it good to run in the morning or the evening? Aria, I kind of enjoy going out early morning. So I'll get up, a little coffee, do some very light dynamic stretching, nothing too heavy. And I like getting out then. It just really wakes me up, wakes the mind up, wakes the body up. And then I really look forward as I'm running around to getting home and having a really big breakfast, some cereal and some toast, a little bit of tea, maybe some juice if there's something going. And I tend to have some recovery drink. I'm using these Science in Sport. It's like the effervescent tablets, just to rehydrate myself and get the electrolytes back in there. So they're really cheap. You can get the Sport in Science, or Science in Sport, is it? Science in Sport? Yeah, that's right. You can get that quite cheap at some of our local stores here. It's really cheap right now, so it's that's what I would recommend. But everybody's different. Everyone's different. Curtis Lost is here. How you doing? Kevin Scott, the New Balance Speedrift in the box. You got it, Kevin. That's what's in there. I haven't had a chance to test them out yet. Probably towards the weekend, maybe Sunday or Monday. So well done, you got it. Jimmy Pickering says, how are you finding the increased mileage, Ed? I've upped mine since lockdown to 40 to 60 miles. Got 2 PBs, found myself drained. What I've been doing is I've been increasing the mileage, but I've pulled the pace back a little bit on maybe two or three of the runs each week. I found that's helped me to keep it rolling, to keep moving. So that's been my main method of ensuring that I can stay consistent and try and get out there every day. I've kind of cut out the 3 mile easy run that I've done and then boosted that up to like 7 miles, and that's helped me to get there. And then maybe 2 like 10-mile runs in the week. But this Sunday I'll probably go and get the where is it? Aha. Yeah, I'll get the fuel cell TC up to 100 miles. It's almost there. It's looking really good actually for 100 miles. It's looking fantastic. Although, you know me, I've been doing some configuration, some messing about. You can see there's some Hoka insoles in there. I've switched them out, so much thinner insoles. I just don't feel that shoe really needs a really thick insole in there. That's made it a slightly better shoe for me. Lee Wood, no, you're wrong. It's not the Ecolucent Pride, but a good suggestion. I do like that shoe. It's a really beautiful shoe. Maria says, how many miles do you run per day? Well, it kind of varies a little bit, Maria. It can be anything between sort of 7 miles up to 10, maybe further. If I fancy going further, I'll just go further. So it's all about kind of looking across the week. Where am I going to do the longer runs, then build something in that's a little slower perhaps before or after, just to balance everything out. We got Dr. Pittenstein says, hi Ed, what's your personal favourite Asics shoe? Favourite Asics shoe? I would suggest my favourite Asics shoe that I have purchased of recent time would be the Nova Blast. And you guys will know if you've watched my initial video, I really wasn't bowled over by that shoe to start with. I found it, I a bit uncontrollable. I found it a little bit too squishy for my liking, but over time it's actually really improved. So I think that's probably my favourite Asics shoe. Cody Cook says, hi Ed, started watching your channel recently, really love your input, thank you, glad you're enjoying it Cody. Just ordered myself a pair of the EDDBUD Pros. Oh okay, I wasn't sure that they were available or they were out. That's cool. Are you in the UK, Cody? I'm really interested by that. Phil Rowley, was that a Speedrift tease? It is. Oh, Joe Mullin, thanks very much, buddy. That's very kind of you for the super chat. Those of you in the chat who haven't sort of heard of the super chat or whatever, it basically highlights your chat for a small amount of cash. But it's really kind. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I'll pass on the regards to Mrs. EDDBUD for you. Thank you. Scott is here. He's just switched over from the comparison video. Awesome, buddy. I hope you enjoyed that one. It's one of those videos where I had some thoughts for the review, but I didn't want to kind of muddle the Metaracer review with too many comparisons. I think sometimes people want to hear about the shoe, and then after I've had a little bit of time to think about it, it kind of becomes clearer in your mind. The comparisons, the differences, the similarities, and the pros and cons become a little bit more prevalent. Steve is here. Evening, do you think Nike will ever sell the old Next% online? Most people seem to prefer them. I think they will still continue to put that shoe out for a little while. I did see that there's an Olympic colourway of the Next%, so they're bound to offer that fairly soon. Perhaps alongside the Olympic version of the Alpha Fly as well. I really want that shoe. That's a beautiful shoe. When is the EDDBUD Junior release? The EDDBUD Junior release is in mid-August. So, yeah, it's not long now. Let's just have a little drink. Richard Rendell says he had the Fuel Cell TC and the Nike 4%, was switching between the two, but his Achilles is playing up. Yeah, I've never had too much of a problem with carbon plate shoes. The only one I really had a big problem actually was this one here. I just found the Carbon X extremely rigid and very firm. Yeah, it did give me a bit of a knee issue at one point. But with the others, I've never had a problem with any of the other carbon plate shoes. Not that I've been running in them every day. I mean, I've done those 10-mile tests recently in the Metaracer, the Saucony and the Alpha Fly, but I've never had any problems with the others. Maybe rest it up a little bit, and yeah, hopefully you can keep on running there, Richard. Jacob Reese says, how much do you think it costs to make a shoe? If you've done into research and marketing, producing one extra shoe might cost something like €10. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done any research into what the shoes cost to produce or make. I would imagine some of the cost is offset by, or at least some of the cost generated is by the design stages, the prototyping. I mean, they must go through huge numbers of prototype shoes before they get them right. So it's not something I've looked into personally. Richard Reynolds says long runs were in the Beacon. Where I've missed it. Richard Reynolds, long runs in the Beacon, Rebel for short or fast distance before. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's what was causing the issue. Hard to tell on that one. Philip says, I'm confused about the term cushioning. Is a softer foam more cushion than firm foam? Yeah, I always think of cushioning as a sort of general term, and then you can always talk about the level of how firm the cushioning is, how sort of kind of squishy, bouncy, responsive it is. Also, when you press down on some of the foams, you see some of them take a little longer to kind of pick back up. Rob Weatherall picked up several boxes of SIS gels for £1.20 each. Awesome. Apple flavour. The apple flavour take a little while to get used to, but once you've got it, you've got the gist of the flavour, I think it's all right. I remember I did buy a massive box once of them, Rob, with all different sorts of flavours, and I kind of anticipated doing a flavour every sort of like week or something. Maybe I'll do that again. I'll do them in the live streams and give you my initial reactions. It's something quite fun to do, I guess. Seems a bit of a waste of a gel though, doesn't it? Reiget says, "Hi Ed, I see you run. See your Reebok Run Fast miles are lacking compared to Hyperion." Yeah, it's mainly just there's been too many other shoes. The Hyperion Tempo and the Run Fast will be two I kind of concentrate on shortly. I'm going to do some sort of longer runs in those and see how they fare. Kevin Scott says he's excited about the Speedrift. It's an interesting shoe, I'll tell you that. It's got some really interesting design quirks. I'm actually quite excited about it. There is like a Pebax plate in there. I'm really quite excited about that shoe. I think they fouled up a little bit on the marketing of it. But yeah, I think that shoe could be a pretty cool shoe. We shall see. Adam Hamilton says, what do you prefer, the Nike Infinity React or the Pegasus 37? Infinity React all the way on that one. The Pegasus 37, it's flattered to deceive a little bit for me, that one. Awesome, up to 70 viewers. Guys, if you're in the chat, please do hit that like button. It really does help out this video to get it out there to some more runners, possibly some new viewers as well. It really helps the channel out, so do hit that like button for me if you are watching right now. I'd really appreciate it. Roadrunner Review says, how was the breathable upper test on the Asics Metaracer? Hang on, we'll do it now. Let's put the hand in. Here we go. Oh, it's just like there's nothing there. It's just going straight through, especially through the port at the front as well. It's going to be awesome, that port in the front. I think that's really going to benefit people. I think it is. I think it is. I'm just being silly. Tajat says, Aria, you can always Google ozone effect, came from morning runs. Ah, I wasn't aware of that. I've always felt it like it's easier running in the morning, even if it's a very humid and quite warm day. Cody Cook says in the US and they are now available. Oh, sweet. Okay, thanks for that, Cody. Thanks for letting me know. So it looks like the Adidas Adizero Pro is available in the US right now. Awesome. Paul Kane says we need more subscribers, stuck on 666. I think we're almost across now, or at least we were close to that earlier. Siegfried says, what is the name of your band? Well, I'm in two groups, the Animal Urges. We've been going for about 20 years now. It's my cousin plays bass with me, and that's John Basinski. He's a legendary John the Snake Basinski. And then on the drums is the Mystery Man. We just call him the Mystery Man because he only ever wears black and nobody really knows anything about him. He's a very quiet guy, so yeah, the Animal Urges. Hopefully we can get some new tracks sorted soon and sort of get back out there. That would be good. I miss playing live with those guys. Rob Weatherall, I'm not keen on the Olympic colourway of the Alpha Flight. Oh, it's, you know, everybody's got their own opinion, Rob. I just think it looks really good. Something about it, similar to the Hakone Next Percent. You know, that just it just does things for me, that shoe. Cheese says not Metaracer related, but he smashed 6x100 intervals with the new Reebok. Oh, sweet. Okay, I'm glad those are working out. Look at that, I told you, the Run Fast 2 are a superb shoe. And did the slower sections sound good too? Kevin Scott says the float ride for life. It's kind of like they used to say boost is life, but it's actually the float ride. Come on Reebok, send me some shoes. Brandon says, hey ya. Hey ya. Dr. Pittenstein, what shoe were you wearing for your most recent PB? Most recent PB, I guess it would have been the time trial, I suppose. The half marathon time trial, which was the Alpha Flies. And don't forget, I had an interesting 2 sort of stops at my water station, which was the steps outside of my house. with the ants as well, so it would have been an even better PB. But it was the Alpha Fly. They just, got to be honest, towards the end they just keep you rolling. There is an advantage there, but it comes at a cost, doesn't it? It comes at a big cost. Richard says, cheers for reply. No worries, buddy. Not a problem. Never a problem. Patrick Fung says, just hit the button. Patrick, I thank you. Joe Mullin says, general rule, at least as far as Nike goes, is the suggested retail price of the shoe is double the cost of the shoe in all aspects. Wow. That's a scary thing. Curtis Lost is laughing at that one. Brendan, thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate that very much. What's your go-to earbud? I lost my Powerbeats Pro and replaced them with the Jabra 75T. Not sure if you made the right choice. I'm still rocking my Powerbeats Pro. I have to say the sound quality of those, they just keep on going. Even today, they were saturated. Everything was saturated. I had to dry everything off. It was just nuts. They are stellar. I haven't tried the Jabras at all, although I do want to try some other earbuds out. I really love listening to music on some runs, not all. If I'm doing intervals, I can't do it. I lose track of what's going on, and I think I've done more or less than I have done. So that would be my suggestion, is to try and listen to music on those longer runs, perhaps not on some of the shorter things. It just doesn't work for me. Andre, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for supporting the channel. Giovanni says, so glad Asics finally decided to go to USB-C. Awesome. Samantha Jenkins, what are the colours of the Olympic Alpha Fly? I looked but could not find. Yeah, there's no official images out there. They're kind of a off blue, but then the pods are different colours on each shoe. They look really sweet. They do look really sweet. Maybe have a look around on Instagram, Samantha. You should be able to find some on there. I can't remember if any of you viewers know the names of a couple of the Instagram posters who put up some of the pictures of the Olympic version. Please put them in the comments there. What have we here? Sanjas says, first real run in the Nova Blast this morning and my car front popped. Oh no, that's not good. I have to say, that first run I had in mine, Sanj, they just felt really quite awkward. Anything resembling a slower pace. But I just found that the foam seemed to sort of, it had some real serious braking. I will go into a bit more depth in that when Kafuzi and I do our 100-mile reviews over the weekend. So we will talk about that in a bit more depth. I hope you're okay though, buddy. Kevin Scott, I think I deserve a Reebok sponsorship. I'm doing the selling for them. Yeah, there's no marketing at all, and they're producing some great shoes, like really good shoes. If only I could get hold of a pair of the Run Fast Pro, that would be good. I really want to try those out. That super low to the ground shoe, I'm kind of into that at the moment. Roadrunner Views, he wants to get a CD. I'll see what I can do for you. If you get hold of me on Instagram, I'll see if I can sort something out for you. Frank says, the SL20 or the Metaracer for a 5k? I think I'd go Metaracer, but I don't think there'd be much in it. Not on a 5. Frank, I don't think there'd be much. Rob Gundry says, it's a non-shoe question, what do you use to edit the content on here? So I mainly use Final Cut Pro, Rob. I have quite a nice Sony camera, the A6400, so I pull all the stuff off of the camera and then just go to work on it. Got quite a quick working sort of method now, working process. And then a lot of the footage is outside is shot via a GoPro 7. But I want to try and upgrade that. I really want the super stabilization, or at least the hyper stabilization, when I'm shooting at 120 frames a second. That's a bit of an issue recently. It's causing me quite a lot of time to edit the footage and prepare it. So I want to try and minimise the amount of time I'm spending doing that. Hope that answers your question, Rob. Ken Martin says Endorphin Pro retail in the Philly area is $200 US. Metaracer not available yet. Yeah, it seems like the Metaracer is launching, I think, is it next week over in the States? So I think there's a little bit of time to wait on that one yet. Tim Furness, Zach Levitt on his YouTube channel has a video with the Nike Olympic Alpha Fly. I expect they've given him those. I've got to be honest, I stopped watching Zach Levitt's channel a while ago. He was just basically not adhering to a load of social distancing rules, and it just didn't seem to care. So I thought I'm gonna leave this. I used to really enjoy watching some of those, but yeah, that kind of upset me a little bit. He seems like a cool guy though. You know, I'm sure he was just being a bit overexcitable. Rocky Wright says hi from Indiana in the USA. Love your videos. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. He bought the blue SL20 after seeing your review. Love the colour and feel good shoe. They are a great feeling shoe. Nice and low to the ground. Rocking. Siegfried says nice shirt in the back, the yellow one. Yeah, this is my this is from my running club actually. One of our runners, Graham Still, he got all these produced so we could all buy one, and then all the money goes to charity. So they're pretty cool. Got the Yeovil Town RRC Instagram on the bottom, and yeah, these are great if you're doing a club run late at night. Hopefully you'll be able to get back out and do some of those soon together. You know, we're missing all those guys. So obviously we're not allowed to run in groups or anything yet, so hopefully that will happen very soon. Gelway Entertainment says yo. Ear 148, greetings my friends, hello there. Paul Kane, Alphafly Worldwide. Yes, that's a good one to try and spot the Alphafly Olympic version. Kevin Scott says Start Fitness does the Reebok Run Fast Pro for $149. That's not a bad price, is it? Available in sort of... Kevin, you're tempting me. You're tempting me. Rob says thanks. No worries, Rob. Not a problem, buddy. I'll tell you what, Rob, I just can't wait till you and I can line up at the start of a race. I miss it. I miss seeing you there, and either I'm in front of you a little bit or you're in front of me a little bit. I just miss it. It really is one of those things. Giovanni says, do you shoot in linear or wide? I tend to shoot in wide on the GoPro. I don't tend to use it inside much, doing kind of vlogging sorts of things. Occasionally I do. If I'm doing some sort of casual shoe reviews or stuff, walking around with the dog out there, I'll stick it in linear for a little bit. He always looks a bit more reasonable in linear, the dog. Ear 148 says, question, my good man, have you been following lockdown rules? Absolutely. I have been following them down to a T. Obviously my wife is pregnant, and also I have some some older parents in their mid-70s. They've been staying inside, so I've been going out only when I had to, when we were allowed to go out once for exercise. I went out once for exercise, and then only other times I went out was to collect food and things for either us or my parents, so they didn't have to go and get food. So I have been following them. Cody Cook says, I have a pair of the Runfast Pro and they are amazing. Ran a recent 2K PR in them. Awesome. The Runfast Pro, I need to test those out at some point. There's a new Nova Blast called the Nova Blast SPS. Anyone know what that is? Ooh, I shall have to check that out. Thank you for the information, Timothy. We'll have to go and look at that. Rob says he misses racing so much. Hopefully we'll be in the rest of races. Yeah, we can have a burn up with them in the Metaracers at some point, Rob. Let's have a little drink. The old voice is starting to go. I think it was running around in that rain earlier on. Scott says he bought 3 pairs of the Endorphin Pros on 2 different sizes. So what, like a 10 and an 11, or? I'm quite interested to know. HJVZ just got the SL20 as well. Only one colourway was available. 50% discount. That's a good discount. What's going on, Adidas? Tell us, how can you do this? How can you sell these shoes so cheaply? David Reed says, do you know where he got the high-vis shirts printed? Been trying to find a supplier for our club. I haven't been able to. David, hit me up on Instagram and I'll see if I can find out for you. Sometimes Graham's in here actually. He's not here today, but sometimes he's here. I'll find out for you. So hit me up on Instagram later on. Tajar says, a Reebok Float Ride Run Fast 2 looks like magic specs. Run Fast Pro 2. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it does look good. It does look good. I have been looking at that. Cal runs Boulder. Jealous of you guys in the UK getting the latest New Balance. First Beacon version 3 and now the Prism. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. They seem to be releasing stuff really early on here in the UK. I don't think it's just the Prism either, Cal, you know. I don't think it's just the Prism. Look at that. It's crazy. It's a crazy shoe. It's so weird. I can't help but just get these out and look. And the weirdest thing, there's this sort of strange cork insole as well, because it's really light. What a weird shoe. Be an initial review on this one coming out very soon. It's really light. The upper's stupendously light as well. We shall see. We shall see what this shoe is made of very soon. David Reed ordered a pair of the SL20s, 50% discount, but got an email saying the dispatch was delayed. Oh no. Well, let's hope that they can still fulfill the order for you. Steve, going back to Science in Sport gels, bought a load on sales, not realising the expiration could be as little as 3 months. Yeah, I remember buying a massive box of the Science in Sport gels, thinking that they were a sort of very close to expiration stock, but when I got them, they weren't. They were like a year or something, so I had like 40 at one point. There's like this huge box. I just grab a couple, you know, whenever I was doing a longer run. Robin, the Nova Blast SPS looks exactly the same as the old one, but the colours are awesome. Oh, right, okay. Prism versus New Balance TC, what wins? I haven't tried the Prism, Antonio, but I can tell you that I do like the TC. It is one of my favourite shoes of the year so far. I will have a top 5 shoes so far this year tomorrow for you. What I would like you to do over on the comments, either for this video, or I'll probably put a poll or something up, or at least somewhere where people can comment and put their top 5s of the year so far, so I can do like a viewer one as well. I'm going to put all of the results together and see what comes out as the top shoe. I'll put some more details about that in the community section of the site a bit later on tonight, so do watch out for that. Earwong says, who's better, Adidas or Nike? I think Nike produced some superb shoes. I think Adidas produced some really good quality shoes. They just seem to last a little bit longer. But there's very different kind of methods there. Nike are going all out with the cushioning right now. Even in the Pegasus 37, it's just a massive react there. I'm not sure really that's the way to go. Whereas Adidas are certainly minimising stuff, apart from that ridiculous Spice Girls shoe that they're releasing. But they're minimising everything else. So it's the two sides of the coin there. It's balance, you know. What do we have? Beacon is out early in the UK too. I want it to come out in the US. Yeah, I don't understand why they haven't released that elsewhere yet. Kevin Scott is excited about the Speed Rift. Yeah, Kevin, here's another shot for you. I'll do a nice... Yeah, there you go. It's so light, it almost fell out of my hand then. Look at the bottom. It's nuts. The bottom looks like that Miler shoe that they released a while back. And it's got a pull tab as well. And it's suede. A suede pull tab. That's the way to go. All shoes should have a suede pull tab. Richard Rendell says he cannot wait for the taste of that review. Yeah. It's got an interesting smell, I'll tell you that for nothing. It's a very strange smell. Robert Gundry says the Nova Blast SPS made for underpronation and neutral. Interesting. So it's a stabilisation version of the Nova Blast. Noel S says, meanwhile in the UK, Asics still haven't released the Nova Blast SPS. Oh, so it's not available in the UK yet. Interesting. Or the Road Blast. Yeah, I haven't seen the Road Blast. It's weird. New Balance are giving us all the shoes, like, first, but Asics are like, nah, don't bother sending it to those guys in the UK. And Reebok are just like, sell everything! 75%, just give the shoes away. Give them away. Adidas are the same, they own Reebok, don't they? Just give the shoes away. Is that £5? Yeah, that'll do. Take them. Roadrunner Review says, check out their review of the Road Blast. Yeah, I would like to see what that's all about, that shoe. We just haven't seen anything of it, really. There's very few reviews of it, anyway. Cal's excited to hear the thoughts on the Speed Rift. That insole is neat looking. Yeah, it's an interesting shoe, I'll say that. It's an interesting shoe. When I first got it out, I thought, casual shoe. This isn't going to work. But then I put it on. And then I saw all the weird kind of... It's just strange. Like, it's a strange shoe, but I think it might work really well. Corrections, Nova Blast seemed like it was already for underpronators and neutral people. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. I wonder what they've put into this new version of the Nova Blast. We'll have to find out. I'll do some digging. Dear Wong says, do you know that Puma and Adidas were founded by Nazi scientists? I didn't know that. I knew that they were brothers. And they kind of fell out or something and launched different companies, but I didn't know about the other stuff. Timothy Brammer, stocks of New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel seem to be drying up. Yeah, it does seem to be disappearing. What if more batches of the Rebel 2 in the future? I'm not sure. I always got the feeling that the Rebel was a little bit of a kind of like a prototype shoe, like a test shoe. But it's so light. This is the thing. I think people will really miss it if they can't get hold of that shoe. Let's hope that they do. Fingers crossed they do another version of it. Kevin Scott says, yeah, Reebok got another sale on. They've always got a sale on. Timothy Betts says, Beast, what is going on here? Beast has just attacked me. Beast is loving the Speed Rift. Ah! Yeah, the Beast. How's it going, Beast? You okay? Do you like the Speed Rift? Yeah? Yeah, I'll put you down there. It's too bright for you, those lights, aren't they, my love? There you go. Oh, it's getting heavy. You need to do some more... Oi! It's biting the pull tab of the Speed Rift. This isn't on. You're supposed to protect the shoes. That's the camera stand. This isn't on. Go on. Never work with children or animals. Oh dear. Where are we? Timothy Betts says, could be currently the text on the Asics site is identical under the normal Nova Blast. Yeah, maybe they've just copied them across or something like that. That could be the answer. Beast! Go on. Sorry about this, guys. We're having a few technical problems here. Giovanni Clean says, don't give Jammy any of these with suede pull tab. It will become a requirement. Yeah, a suede pull tab on this one, I'm telling you. Joe Mullin, Fanta was also created during the Nazi Germany period. I was not aware of that. Correction seems to think it's probably just a Nova Blast limited edition colour. Okay, yeah, it could be they've just decided to knock out some new colours. It has happened in the past. Kevin Scott says that Jameson Michael did mention that the New Balance said there was a Rebel 2 coming out. Let's hope so, because that shoe is one of the lightest short distance pace shoes going. It was incredibly light, even in my size. Mr. Jemison, it's the Metaracer Beast thought it's a salmon. Beast, what are you doing? I don't know what's something's up with it. Beast, can you not do that? I'm gonna have to move this shoe because it's gonna destroy it. We'll put it up there. Gonna have to edit all this out. No, I'll leave it in. Beast is a legend. We'll look past discrepancies today. Rob Weatherall says, anyone help with New Balance sizing? I'm a 14 in Nike. Not sure if I'd need a 13.5 or 14.5. In Nikes, Rob, I tend to, sorry, not in Nike, in New Balance, I tend to go up a half size. I don't know if that helps at all. So I'm an 11 in a Nike, and I tend to go for an 11.5 in New Balance. Cal says a Rebel 2 is coming. Forgot if it was running warehouse or believe in the run. Awesome. So it looks like there is one coming. Road Runner Reviews has got to go. So, hi Beast. Giovanni Clean says, can you add a poetry with EDDBUD interlude? Maybe I can do that. Yeah, some shoe poetry. Yeah, I kind of like the sound of that. I'll see what I can do. Will Bates, the Adizero Pro came out today in the US. Looking forward to giving it a go. Are you going to get them? I might try and get them, yes, if I can get hold of one. No idea when it might be coming to the UK. I've not heard anything on that one. Joe Mullin, last night I was trying to locate a pair of 4%. Sadly, all sites I found were saying fake versions. Yeah, I bet it's tough trying to get hold of a pair of the 4%s now. I really love my 4% Gakuso, the Flyknit edition. That's a really beautiful shoe. Corrections, oh my god, A0 Pro hype. So a few people chiming in on the sizing for New Balance. Yeah, I just find New Balance a little on the small side. Not a lot, you know, just a little. I'd certainly prefer a half size up. Ah, okay, Samantha. I'm not sure where else you might be able to find some images of the Olympic version of their Alpha Flyer. Must be around somewhere. Craig Broadway says, how would sizing go from Hoka to Nike? Again, with some Hoka shoes, I find that I just need a half size up. The Rincon was okay. It was a little narrow at the front though in the toe box. I think a half size might have just given me a little bit more room. But they are a little more on the narrow side, I always find Hokas. Scott says he half sized up in the Endorphin Pro. I found Saucony kind of true to size for me. They're pretty much spot on in an 11 for me. That Endorphin Pro is one of the best fitting shoes I think I've got. Joe says 81 watching. I think it's about a new record, Joe. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I hadn't noticed that. Matt says, how many kilometres do you reckon the Saucony Endorphin Pro will last? I do remember them talking that it would last sort of 350, something like that. They were making a big deal out of it, that you could use this shoe to train in as well as race. And I think that's a big thing where Brooks had come out and said, oh yeah, the Hyperion Elite will last like 100 miles or something. And I remember someone saying about the New Balance RC that was going to be like 50 miles. People ain't going to go for that. Not right now. Not with the current economic climate around the world, where people are being a little more careful about what they spend. So I think that Saucony have got it just right in terms of that. Correction said, I imagine Light Strike with a carbon plate would be stiff as hell. I thought that the Light Strike seems different in the SL20 than it does in the Takumi Sen. It really does. I don't know whether it's how they've implemented it or something, or they actually have changed it, but it does feel different. Siegfried says we're at 6,670 subscribers now. Woohoo! We're getting there. We're moving forward. Moving forward. The toppermost of the poppermost. All thanks to you guys, though. Without you guys, the channel doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. It's all down to the viewers. Always. Always, always remember. Be humble. Always. Rob Weatherall says Google Images have some of the Olympic colourway. So might be able to find it on there, Samantha. Yeah, Antonio says Speedrift costs €200 there, better than the TC. I haven't tried them yet. They're literally, Beast is now sat in the box. Beast. Sat in the box. Brand new shoes, and the Beast is sat on them. Floria Radu says better than the Zoomfly Flynet. Are you referring to the TC? I'm not sure. Kevin Scott says the Adidas Adizero Pro was on the Adidas UK website a few months ago. Yeah, and then it just sort of disappeared. Fodrunner reckons they should last 400 miles. I'd be surprised if they last 400 miles. I would really be surprised. I don't think a Pebax based midsole is going to last that long. I would be surprised. Steve A, love my New Balance TCs. Almost brought a tear to my glass eye. Thanks for your review. I think I might go for a pair of Saucony Endorphin Pro. Yeah, it certainly is a cosmic shoe. Cosmic. Rob Weatherall says next you'll be on Channel 5. Jacob Reese says it's a good idea to look at the centimetre size. Yeah, that's what I've started doing, Jacob. I think that's a really good suggestion. Looking at the centimetre size, it does seem to be a little bit clearer, although they seem to vary. You know, that's why I've started measuring the shoes on the reviews to actually tell you guys what they actually amount to in terms of length. Because there just seems to be so much variation. Certainly with Nike shoes, the length is never the same between models. It's always different. Steve A says, Ed, how do you manage to get the shoes that no one seems to be able to get? Do you some sort of Mrs. Earbud's magic lemon cake as a bribe? I just tend to sort of be on the ball, Steve. I keep on a lookout. Whenever I hear about a date, I kind of investigate a little bit. Sometimes just email some of the companies and say, hey, you know, when are these dropping? When can I grab them? Dr. Prittenstein with the super chat. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me, buddy. Thank you. I think what this man will spend on running shoes every month is a drink on the house. Oh, I do appreciate that. Thanks, man. Paul Kane. The 4% was a great shoe. They marked easy, but it was cosmetic. Love running in it. Yeah, I got a good about 200 miles, I think, out of my 4% Flyknit. They were a great shoe. I had some good memories in that shoe. Some good times. Yeah, most of the marking was cosmetic. I did get a little bit of wear on the outer right side of the shoe. I think probably where I was getting a little bit sloppy in my stride, perhaps towards the end of some races and stuff. But they hung in there. They're a perfectly good tempo shoe. Now I could go out and run some fast-paced miles, no problem in that. And with a couple of 100 miles on there, probably wouldn't race in them now, but they're a really good tempo shoe still. Correction says, what even is Light Strike Pro? Yeah, I'd like to know. How do they make Light Strike any lighter? I don't know. That is a good question. Still waiting for the Strava group. I think I'll probably launch that this weekend, Andrea. I've got some stuff ready to launch that. I want to do it in a certain way though, you know, a special EDDBUD kind of way. So that it makes it fun to kind of figure it out. I always like doing things like that, so there's a bit of a game to it. It's Light Strikes that gets paid. I like it. Good one, Frank. I like that. Try and think what we got coming up very shortly then over the weekend, guys. Yeah, as I say, I'm going to be working with Kafuzi on that 100-mile review of the Nova Blast from Asics. We've got another Deckers recovery shoe that I'm going to be doing a review on. I'm going to be using over the next few days, getting some dog walking miles in, maybe some supermarket miles, because you know they're good for testing out casual shoes. I'm going to do another casual shoe review as well of a shoe that Mrs. EDDBUD fantastically got me for my birthday, the Nike Low Blazers. So I'm going to do a bit of a casual review for that, just saying a little bit different, you know, mix it up a little bit. I think it'll probably be Monday for the initial review of the, oh sorry Beast, of the New Balance Speedrift. So tune in then for the initial review on these guys, see how they shape up. Don't worry, it won't be a 3-mile cul-de-sac run or, you know, run up and down the road or something. I'll get out and give them a good 10 miles, something along those lines. Give them a good test. Kevin Scott says virtual running group with England Athletics affirmation killer. Maybe one day, you know. Do old race shoes make for good tempo days? Yeah, I've always found, Scott, you can get some more miles out of those old race shoes, I think. Richard Rendell says he might cancel his TV licence and give me the money. Well, thanks Richard for the super chat. I really appreciate that. It's really kind of you. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Adam only got 120 miles on his 4%. It started coming apart on the outsole. Well, that's not good. Yeah, it might have held up pretty well. Andre says he already did it. Awesome. Joe, I appreciate you tuning in. Guys, I'm going to draw this one to a close now. If you've got any more questions on the Metaracer or the Endorphin Pro, please fire them in the comments section over on those videos. I'll be in the comments a bit later on this evening, answering as many as I can. You know, I'll try and get around to do as many as I possibly can. What I'm going to do now is though save the other Speedrift that's in the box from Beast, who's attacking it now, and I shall see you guys very soon. I appreciate you tuning in. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you.